Now from an NFL stadium that hosted NFL football on and off from 1966 until 2019, we are glad to be back under the lights at the Coliseum in Oakland. Tonight we are all set to witness what should be a good one. It's a battle of eras, if you will. Today's NFL superstars set to face the best of the best, the Madden legends. The teams making their way out of their respective tunnels, and we get a look at Coach Madden. He'll be on both sidelines here in this one, as he'll be coaching some of his favorite players of all time. Should be a special one. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and that's another Brandon. Brandon Aubrey will get us started. Off we go from the East Bay. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. The legend set to go to work. It is Peyton Manning who leads him out at quarterback. Peyton spent 14 years as a Colt, 4 more as a Bronco. And the numbers, they speak for themselves. 14 times a Pro Bowler, better than 71,000 passing yards, 539 touchdown passes, and, of course, twice a Super Bowl champion. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. First carry for the 5-time Pro Bowler, LaDainian Tomlinson. And he sidestepped one man, but reinforcements come to stop him right around the line of scrimmage.
We knew both of these safeties were good in run support, but how about the play we just saw there? How about that closing speed? Able to get to the outside part of the field and turn that play into a loss.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Manning now to throw. A quick throw there is incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
Little trouble thus far on their opening drive as they come up on a 3rd and 11. Working from the gun, Manning. He's going to float this one deep right side. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
No surprise at all. They're looking for the big man early in this one. The only surprise for them, he couldn't hang on to the pass.
On 4th down, here's Andy Leon to kick it away. Back deep, Amon-Ra St. Brown. Fair catch signaled for and taken just shy of the 30-yard line. So out come the NFL superstars, and it is Josh Allen who leads them out at quarterback, the MVP of the National Football League in 2024. You know, Coach Madden always admired those field generals who could really do it all, and there might not be a more unstoppable quarterback in the league today, the number 17 of the Bills. Looking to put a drive together. Here's Allen to throw it. A throw on the run, but that's going to be incomplete. Jamar Chase, the intended receiver. And that'll bring up 2nd down. Allen going to throw. Well, a quick throw there, but it's going to be incomplete.
This defense has passed its first 2 tests by forcing back-to-back incompletions. They know there's probably another throw coming on 3rd down. Let's see if they decide to force the issue by sending people on a blitz.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Throwing now is Allen. Oh, going from Jefferson downfield. And that's caught inside the 30. It's a big play there on 3rd down. 42 yards.
It's early, but announcer cliche alert here. Big players make big plays. Should I say in big games too? Oh, what the heck. And this defense, they're going to have to find some way to slow him down as this game goes on, because when this combination is going good, they can tear your secondary apart.
Connects with Kittle underneath. It'll go as a gain of 4, and it'll be second down. And forget about the run to set up the pass. They're just coming out throwing.
Forget trying to set anything up. They feel like they have the advantage. They feel like they have the matchups, and they're just attacking right now.
Yep, going to the air on the opening drive. To throw, it's Allen. The same target, same result. It's Kittle. They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6.
And there wasn't much room for the big tight end to do much after the catch. But at least he was able to pick up a solid gain to help his offense continue to move in the right direction.
Here's third and a few inches. Allen to throw once more. Oh, they would have gotten the conversion if he could hold on. Instead, the drop means it'll be 4th down.
Just looking at it from a defensive perspective, when you break the huddle in the red zone, tight end is one of the guys you've got to key on, because quarterbacks want the ball in their hands fast in this position, and they want to get it to someone. And in this case, he had the play. They just didn't complete it.
And his kick is good. And the Superstars will move out to a 3-0 lead. So they're content to take the 3. Somewhat of a conservative call there, opting not to go for it on 4th and inches.
And that's from a team that you and I know is not usually playing it close to the vest. It's a little bit of a surprise that they opted for the 3 instead of going for it.
So after the made field goal, back out is Aubrey to kick this away. And he'll be stopped up at the 25. And the Legends head back out, and with him the great Jerry Rice, who of course had his biggest years across the bay from here in San Francisco in the 80s and 90s. Rice was always one of the hardest workers out there, a real tactician at the wide receiver position. 2 qualities that Coach Madden always admired. Here's what Coach Madden had to say about all the things number 80 could do to beat you.
With Jerry Rice, you have to move him around. You can play him at flanker. You can play him at X. You can play him in the slot. You can even sneak him in the backfield once in a while.
And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. You often say that sort of opens the playbook now, 2nd and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while, because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. Snap comes at 1. Manning completes it to Fitzgerald. That one a 1st down pickup of 8.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a 2-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
Now Tomlinson on 1st and 10. And they'll get to him after a gain of 7 to the 47.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early, because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
Ball on the 47-yard line. Here's 2nd and 3. To throw is Manning. In trouble, and he's taken down. Micah Parsons showing off that elite athleticism as he gets the sack.
In every game we talk about what are going to be the keys as we go into it. Maybe that's a key for their defense today. Pressure the quarterback and make sure you play a good zone defense behind them, and they get their 1st sack of the contest.
The threat of a 2nd straight punt to start the game is looming as they come up 3rd and 10. Throwing now is Manning. That's laid out deep for Rice. And unable to connect. Incomplete. Well, give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
2 drives won't tell the story of this game, but you absolutely have to like how this defense has played thus far. They have yet to allow this offense to get untracked in this one.
Now Andy Lee will come on to punt this one away. And the fair catch is taken at about the 13-yard line here. The next possession ready to get going. An exciting game for those here in attendance to see all these great players on the field. But it's also a chance to celebrate our namesake, the coach, John Madden. Some of our younger fans may not know his full story. Before the video game that now bears his name, he was the head coach of the Oakland Raiders. Had some big moments on this field. And he, of course, was on the sidelines down in Pasadena, Super Bowl 11, when the Silver and Black won their first Super Bowl title, a 32-14 victory over the Minnesota Vikings. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Oh, there's plenty of traffic waiting for him up the middle. But give him credit, he tried barreling through anyway. They're fortunate to get a yard out of that one.
They work now on 2nd and 9. On play action, Allen. This one caught by Kittle. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. That one good for 26 and a 1st down.
So many times in my career I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
So the shotgun snap to Allen. Throw left side complete to Chase. 11 more yards that go around, a 1st down as well.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people. But you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
A 1st down carry for Barkley. And he's able to break through 1 tackle, but it slowed him down enough that he could only manage getting back to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
Now 2nd and 9. Allen now looks to throw. Throwing quickly there, but it's incomplete. They'll need to get this to the 38. That's where the 1st down marker is here on 3rd. From the gun, it's Allen. He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete.
They'll put a check mark in the box where the defense coordinator was saying, how well can we stay with these receivers if we're in man coverage? Because he just did it on that one, forced the incompletion. That allowed him to get bolder with his pass rush, won't it?
Absolutely. Frees up your guys elsewhere. And his kick here is good. But for almost 8 years, 64 stood as the NFL record for the longest field goal. That has since been eclipsed. It's now 66, but still 64-yarder. Pretty impressive, CD.
Absolutely agree with that, because if you drill a 60-yarder in an NFL game, you've got a lot to be proud of, record or no record. And only a handful of guys can even attempt it. Excellent job there, putting that one through the pipes.
So a couple of field goals now, 6-0 our score as the kicks away. And he takes this near the 25, just a little pass there, call it the 26. The Legends going back on offense. Hall of Famer LaDainian Tomlinson in there at running back. And you think back to those Raider teams of the 70s. Coach Madden always loved to run the football, and he had some great running backs to rely on. But no one quite like LT, who he held in high regard. And here's what he had to say about the all-around abilities of the Charger great.
LaDainian Tomlinson is one of the best backs in the league. He has it all. I've watched him and I thought, I don't know if there's a guy that's better at running and catching and blocking and doing all the things that you have to do to be a running back.
They're bringing a lot of pressure here already in the first quarter. Already sacked him once. Now they get in there and knock another one away. You think maybe that Tucker rule being gone makes defenses a lot bolder?
Yes, indeed. That time, lucky that the arm was going forward. Incomplete pass. From the gun, it's Manning. Throw left side, completion to Rice. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a third down. Now Manning. This will be caught by Randy Moss. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. His first catch of the game, good for 11 and a first down.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and it's second down. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
Pressure, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back right around the 44. Micah Parsons. Now 2 sacks for him already here in this first quarter of play.
Now that was just absolute perfect man coverage. Nowhere for them to go with the football. It led to a sack, and that's really difficult to do in today's NFL with all these gazelles running around that you're trying to cover in the secondary.
Shotgun now for Manning. That'll be caught over the middle by Moss. And he will have the first down as he gets this to the 47. It goes as a gain of 9, and it moves the chains. So he turned to a trusted, familiar face in that third down situation. It paid off.
Yeah, you go to your veteran receiver in that spot, so you can't underestimate him when he's on the field. Defensively, make sure you know where he is because he understands how to get open in key situations.
Now the play clock hits 0 here, and we're going to get a delay. Penalty accepted, and that pushes him back 5. So a little bit of a stiffer challenge now. 1st and 15 following the delay of game. Throwing is Manning. Under pressure, and down he goes. Jalen Carter gets him for a loss of 8. What great push up front. And that is the 3rd sack this offensive line has allowed this first quarter.
Yeah, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game, I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on offense in terms of play calling.
Well, I can tell you what, when he popped up, shaking his head, frustrated right now behind center. Now then, after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23. Manning. That's complete to the Hall of Famer Terrell Owens. A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for 3rd down.
Makes sense. First catch here in the first half for the 6-time Pro Bowler Terrell Owens, the only player in NFL history to be a first-team All-Pro for 3 different teams. That's absolutely nuts.
Here's Manning to throw. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he's going to get this inside the 30. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last two plays.
That's really good play design right there, and it's one that comes down to the offensive line. It's a deep in route, but it's only going to work if that line gives you time in the pocket to wait for the route to develop. Mission accomplished there as they pick up the first down.
And a pretty little juke move there on a nice gain. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And it'll be second and very short. We are through one. So happy to have you along. It's football. It's Oakland. And it's only on EA Sports. Back with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. The offense already on the field here to begin quarter number 2. As they've got it with second down and less than a yard. Fitzgerald bringing it in over the middle. It'll be a pickup of 4, good enough to earn him yet another first down. A give to Ladainian up the gut. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. That whole thing was thrown off track thanks to the defense of Fred Warner. Really nice play. They went with the run-pass option, and I don't know if the option really mattered there because the defense was ready.
So many times you put the defense at a disadvantage because you have those multiple options, but when they read their keys and play it correctly, sometimes the result goes in their favor.
No gain on that one, and it's going to bring up a third down. We'll see what they have drawn up here. A little bit behind the line. 12 yards needed to gain a first down. They'll send Moss in motion right. Flag comes out, and that's because the offense did not get the play off in time.
And you can see the head coach, he is not happy. Everyone getting away from him right now because he's frustrated that they didn't get the ball snapped in time.
That flag accepted, and it backs the offense up a little bit. After the delay, they're backed up even further for third and long. To throw, it's Manning. And that will be incomplete. Oh, he left that one in a bad spot, but fortunately it's just an incompletion and not picked to bring up fourth down.
And that's where you're counting on a receiver's size being an advantage. They were hoping he could go over the top of a smaller DB and haul that one in. A good thought, but that time it didn't work out.
And his kick is right there. It's good. And they are on the board, trailing now 6-3. So that kick gives them their first points of the game, CD. And it comes on the third drive, but hopefully for them that's a spark that gets that offense going.
Yeah, and I would say if you're the offensive play caller, as you look at your sheet, you're trying to find that part on there that unlocks bigger points. They've struggled with a few drives so far, finally got 3 out of it. How do you find the end zone? That's what he's searching for now.
So after the made field goal, Pat Summerall back out to send it away. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. Here's Allen. A quick throw there is incomplete.
I can put just a little bit too much heat on that one. When you throw it to the outside, you do have to be careful because you got to keep it away from the defender. But you also have to give your own guy a chance, too.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Now Allen. Got a man open. It's Chase. And down right around the 32-yard line. 4 yards on the pickup. The offense on third down tonight, just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. To the air, Allen. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. They convert on third with a gain of 22.
That's a play that will likely be forgotten when you talk about big moments in this game. But plays like this are critical to keep drives going. And if points result, we'll call this play significant.
Up the middle with Berkeley. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
To throw, it's Allen. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete.
Textbook coverage right there. Played the ball, never lost sight of where it was headed, and stayed in perfect position to make a play on it. Able to keep the receiver and the quarterback in his sight lines.
And now on 3rd down, they'll need to get it to the 36 to pick up the first. Now Allen. And that's going to be incomplete. The contact there enough to jar that ball free, and it brings up 4th down.
Well, he'd been targeted quite a bit on this drive, and finally I think the guys on the defensive side, they said no more. They slapped the double coverage on him, made it very tough for him to get the ball.
And that is no good. Hit it well from distance, but he couldn't work it back in, and that will keep this a 3-point game.
I don't care who you are. 60 yards is a very ambitious attempt. Hard to make even in practice in the best of conditions. And now, worst of all, you give the other guys the ball to start their drive at midfield.
Well, they gave the 60-yarder a try, didn't make it, and now they're in a tough position defensively. This offense has it at midfield. From midfield, here's Manning. Over the middle, that's caught by T.O. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains.
And it's a real luxury when you have a guy who can turn a short throw into a solid gain at any moment. Once he caught that ball, he ID'd where the open grass was and got there in a hurry to pick up a new set of downs for his offense.
Draw play, Tomlinson. And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks. What makes a draw play like that successful?
Well, we did see where he made the first wave miss, and that was a big part of it. But a lot of it is just being actors back there, making the defense think it's going to be a pass.
Tomlinson again, a first down carry. And not much, maybe a yard down to the 23.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
Again, it's Tomlinson. And nowhere to run on the interior of that defensive line. He'll get back only to the line of scrimmage. Officially, no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8. Here now, a 3rd down and 8. Working from the gun, Manning. Nowhere to turn this time, and he goes down. Sacked back at the 29. The Mississippi State man, Chris Jones, with a sack there. So that now 4 first-half sacks. This pass rush has been unrelenting.
And, partner, you hear that sound of paper being ripped to shreds? That's the game plan that they've had so far because they've got to say to themselves right now, we have to do something differently.
And this is right down the middle as he puts it through. But now there is a penalty marker on the field, so let's see what this is about. And this is going to be roughing the kicker, an inexcusable penalty, Charles.
You've worked so hard to hold him to a three-point kick. Now you're giving him the ball again with a chance for a touchdown.
On the draw, this is Tomlinson. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
And when you get good yardage like that on first down, it really does a whole lot of good for your entire offense. But I love the way he's finishing those runs. At the end of things, he's making sure he gets just a little bit extra.
Ball at the 6 here as they work with a 2nd and 2. On play action. Now Manning. He's going to get this one out to his fullback. And he's going to score. Touchdown, Legends. Mike Alstott from 6 yards away. And his guys have taken the lead. And he wasn't blocking or running it there. They tossed it to him.
And you remember the good old days when the 49ers were riding roughshod in the league? They use their fullback in pass plays all the time. Roger Craig, Tom Rathman, those guys were terrific at running these types of plays.
Here now, Pat Summerall for the point after. And he's got it as the lead is now 10-6. So this drive spans 7 plays. After the touchdown, here's Summerall to send this one away. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. The NFL superstars getting set for their next possession. Now they're about to come up on drive number 4, but so far just 2 field goals on drives 1 through 3.
Wondering if the head coach has talked with his offensive coordinator and said, look, let's go ahead and press this a little bit. I'm giving you 4 downs on just about every occasion to try and get this offense kick-started and have it culminate in touchdowns. You know, maybe someday you press it a little bit. This might be the case.
Open man is Chase, complete. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39.
Partner, he sold the go route really well. Thought he was going deep, then curled it back inside for a nice completion.
DBs love when they pump the brakes, don't they?
Yeah, that's really a whole lot of fun. It's almost like you said, listen, if you're going to sell the go, just go. And let's see who's faster.
Throwing now is Allen. Connects with Kittle underneath. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
They really love to get him into one-on-one opportunities, and this is one way. Work him out of the slot and create a mismatch. Who's going to cover him? Corner, safety, linebacker? He's got a way to beat all of those positions.
2 yards to go, 2nd down. Out of the shotgun, and Bowman Barkley. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. A gain of 5, good enough for the 1st down.
Not too many more ideal situations in 2nd and 2 in order to try and pick up a 1st down. They ran it and picked it up.
So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. Play action. Now it's Allen. Across the middle, he's got it complete to St. Brown. A gain there of 15. Good for a superstar's first down.
Oh, I like that play call there. After a run for good yards, you get a defense thinking they'll go back to the well. So that's a great time to call play action and give your receivers a little extra edge. And they complete the pass there for another first down.
Now a first carry for their fullback. That's some good hard running there as he'll push his way forward for about 5.
I heard all the stories. I watched some of the tape of the old school guys, the throwback guys who were the punishing runners and knocked people aside to pick up yardage. I'm so glad I was sitting here today and got to see it with my own eyes.
Allen. Justin Jefferson bringing in the slant. They picked up 5 yards last time. Now they double it and get 10 here.
What a drive this has been, just chewing up the yardage. And here's one of their best plays yet as they finally get down into the red zone and look to finish this off with 6.
So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. Here's Allen to throw it. And his throw here is incomplete.
I'm really liking what I'm seeing from this defense because their coverage has been playing at a shutdown level so far. Even backed up late, they're forcing incompletions and fighting to keep them out of the end zone as the first half winds down.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Allen now looks to throw. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
That play call wasn't there for them against that coverage. So they're going to spin the dial now in their playbook and come up with one more shot at the marker to try and keep this series going.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. This one goes out wide for Barkley. And he is going to be stopped at the 12, short of the first down. That one good for only 6, and it leaves him with a 4th down. Two minutes remaining in this first half of football. They'll turn things over to Brandon Aubrey now for the field goal. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. And his kick is indeed good. And that gets him back within a single point. It's now 10-9. So the margin shrinks there as they get the field goal to draw them a bit closer here in the second quarter.
Yeah, nice snap, nice hole. They just want to keep this game close, so give them credit for finishing that one off with 3.
So after the made field goal, back out is Aubrey to kick this away. Well, now how about this return? And they got to be pleased with this. He brings it all the way up to the 40-yard line. The Legends making their way back out on offense with Terrell Owens at wide receiver. Owens, former 3rd-round pick of the 49ers in 1996, and really came out of nowhere. Played at Chattanooga. But he developed into one of the great receivers in NFL history. And Coach Madden always appreciated the different ways in which T.O. could be a factor in a ball game.
Terrell Owens is such a big, strong, powerful guy. You don't always have to get the ball to him deep. You can hand it to him on a reverse, throw it to him on a slant, and he can just run right through the defense.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. First play of the drive going for 14 and also going for a first down.
Any questions of how they'd approach this drive were answered right there. They come out throwing, and they get a nice pickup here toward the end of the first half.
To throw is Manning. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Moss. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game. And it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, you often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. Give him 7 on the tuck and run, and it'll get him a new set of downs. Well, the Legends going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock stops here with 46 seconds remaining in the first half. Now Manning. It's complete. It's Fitzgerald. Just a gain of a couple there. And it'll be second down. Now Manning. And he checks this one down to LT out of the backfield. Now the Legends going to take their second timeout as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half. Now Manning. Fitzgerald's got it right side. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. It'll be from the right hash, and it'll be a 36-yarder. And this one is right through. And the lead grows to 4. It's 13-9. Well, in a close game like this, obviously you want the touchdown, but certainly they will take the 3.
And they'll be okay with that, but let's throw a little credit to the defense as well. And I'm just glad this doesn't come down to a debate, right? Which side won, partner? Because the defense, hey, we didn't give up a touchdown. The offense, hey, we put 3 on the board. Either way you look at it, I think both sides gained something out of that drive.
So still time for the kickoff here. 1 second to go in the half as this one is away. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And you wonder if with Allen's arm, they might just take their chances by dialing up a long one. And his throw is incomplete. So halftime here in Oakland with the Legends on top. Let's get you over to Scott Hansen quickly with our halftime report.
Okay, Brandon, thanks so much. As you said, the Legends have the halftime lead. Maybe not by as much as some would have thought, though. You wonder if Coach Madden might have a few things to say during the break. As we look at the highlights and the stats, want to remind you that coming up after the game, stick around for the presentation of the turducken to our winners. That might motivate a few folks for the second half. Speaking of which, the third quarter about to kick off, so let's send it back to Brandon and Charles.
Okay, Scott, thank you. Would have loved to have been a fly on the wall in either of these two locker rooms to listen to Coach Madden's speeches as we get set to resume play. So a 4-point game here as we get set to resume action in this third quarter of play. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. So the NFL superstar is going to have it first to start this third quarter. And they're on the short end of the scoreboard here. Charles, what adjustments, if any, do you think they need to make for the second half?
Well, paraphrasing the gold medal hockey winning coach Herb Brooks, I just say you continue to play your game. Throw the ball. They had success doing it in the first half, so make sure you keep getting the ball to your playmakers, a little bit more to the perimeter perhaps, but above all, play your game.
Oh, Allen cannot get away, and down he goes. That's the Hall of Famer Lawrence Taylor doing what he does best.
You know, on these types of plays, we're always looking to assess blame. Okay, where did it break down? Sometimes it's just a great play.
Coming up now on a 2nd and 15 following that sack. Barkley inside handoff. And they won't fare much better here as he maybe gets back to the line. No gain on the play this time, and it'll be a 3rd and long situation coming up. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And that is too far out in front. He couldn't haul it in. Incomplete.
Well, this is just a continuation of what we saw in the first half. So much for the fresh start to begin the third quarter. Still off-target throws, no rhythm throwing the football, and obviously no touchdown scored in this game.
Now here's Michael Dixon as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Here's Hester. A 46-yard punt, 8 yards on the return. And they will take over 1st and 10. But the Legends set to take over on offense once more. And you look at this roster on both sides of the ball. So many Hall of Famers, so many players who truly defined excellence in the National Football League. And you just think, how excited would John Madden have been to actually be able to coach this team? I'm reminded of his Hall of Fame speech, 2006, where he talked about how he thought the bronze busts in Canton, once the last guest had left for the day, would talk to each other at night. And somehow I have the feeling he was spot on in that intuition. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. 1st down yardage on the first play of the drive, 14 yards. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
And he's going to be stopped at about the 37. 9 yards on the first down. Keeper, and it's 2nd and 1. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him, so when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a 1st down.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. But I bet the offensive lineman said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the 1st down. They love being physical.
Manning. Throwing the out route, incomplete. It's Moss. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets it down to the 30 there.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
Here's Manning to throw. This one caught by Terrell Owens. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
You have to ask the question, where was the help? Because it's a little surprising to me that he'd find that much room to run this close to the end zone. He doesn't quite get there, but he sets his guys up with a 1st and goal.
Manning now to throw. That is caught. Touchdown, Legends. Terrell Owens from a yard out. And his guys are going to add on to their lead. That seemed pretty ideal there for the offense, Charles. You take a little bit of time off the clock here in the third quarter, decent length drive, and you pad your lead as well at the end of it.
And what it does is lets you feel like you're in control of this game, even more so than a 2-touchdown lead, right? Because you have taken that time off, as you noted, which means they couldn't get you off the field. You ran your playbook the way you wanted to, and you gave your defense some rest. What a big-time drive in that situation.
The extra point splits the uprights, and that pushes the lead up to 11. That time a 6-play drive. After the touchdown, here's Summerall to send this one away. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. And now this offense comes back out onto the field. The last series form a little disappointing, forced a punt. And now they'll try to do better here and come away with some points as they begin this drive, 1st and 10. Looking to put a drive together. He'll drop it off with Saquon Barkley. And a really good show of force there as he gets through for 4 tough yards.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
Here's a 2nd and 5. Footwork. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. 14 yards that time, and a 1st down on the keeper.
When teams have a tough time running the ball as this one has throughout this game, it's so easy to just say, forget it, let's throw the football. But that's exactly why you stay with the running game. Eventually, you stick with it, you make some adjustments, you often find ways to run the ball better as the game goes on.
And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the 1st down run. He gets maybe 3.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
Now a 2nd and 6. And now they'll throw with Allen. Throw left side, taken in by Jefferson. And he's got this down a yard or 2 shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
They'll try to run for it with Barkley. And Barkley did not get there. Tough sledding. They lose a yard there on 3rd.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
Still just the 3rd quarter, but they've got to make something happen. I think they know that. They're going for it on 4th. They'll run with Barkley. Just a gain of 3, but they'll certainly take it as they convert on 4th down. So he needed 1. He ended up getting 3.
And I really like the way he ran that one, too. That's really intelligent running because oftentimes a running back could get too greedy. Try and hit the home run on a play where you just need a few yards. Well done there, making sure you got the 1st down and not worrying about trying to get a touchdown.
And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
He hadn't had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. Just need a yard here. 2nd and 1. Now Allen. To the right side and complete to Jefferson. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. That catch puts him over 70 yards receiving now as he's got a first down.
It's taken a while for this offense to get going. A little creaky at the start, but they're oiled up now. A nice throw there, and they're really putting together a good drive.
A give to Barkley out of the gun. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Well, we saw a lot of negative plays that resulted in plenty of lost yardage in the first half, and that trend is continuing here.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. To throw, it's Allen. Now he'll tuck this and run. And he'll slide to a halt here, still a little shy of the first down marker. Give him 7 there on the tuck and run, and they're in better shape now for 3rd.
The defense did its job of taking away a quick throw, but that's only half the battle because they've got to get to him before he can make a run for it. A little bit late containing him there, so he makes a nice gain out of a play that looked like it was in trouble.
To the air, Allen. And he's going to score. Touchdown, Superstars. George Kittle, an 11-yard touchdown. And his guys have made this a 1-score game now.
And that touchdown ends a streak, for lack of a better word, of 3 field goals that they put on the board previously. They finally cracked the code.
Yeah, they've been down there. They've been in enemy territory, as you said. They just hadn't been able to punch it in until that point. The offense going to stay on the field as they will line up and go for 2. Allen will try to throw for it. On the RPO, he'll keep it himself. And he will get into the end zone to cut the lead down to a single point. Well, I guess the coach looked at the 2-point cheat sheet, said go for it, get it to a 3-point game, and they did it.
Yeah, and sometimes you just throw out time of game. You don't worry about that. There's just a feel sometimes in making that call, and he felt good about what he had for a 2-point conversion, and now they're only down 3 and feeling great about themselves.
So after the touchdown, Aubrey now to kick this one away. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. The home team's offense and their quarterback ready to go once more. And he's been a nightmare to scheme against throughout this one. This defense has been totally taken apart, and that is borne out in his numbers. He's been terrific all game long. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. Their lead down to a field goal now as they start with a 1st and 10. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. Right off the bat, it's a 1st down to start the drive, 12 yards.
That was good, tough running right up the middle, and if the defense can't penetrate and make him slow his pace or change direction, that's often the end result.
They go again to Tomlinson. Fighting through. And Jude this time. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. 75 yards rushing here for LT and a 1st down. Couple of very nice carries to start this drive out.
Yeah, 2 first downs. And how about that second one? What a nice run on that particular play. I'm telling you, they're going to start to think that this game is easy if they continue to rip off yardage like this.
And this time they were ready for him as they'll stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Play 3 of the drive not as successful. They go backwards after those 2 first down gains. So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11. From the gun, it's Manning. Fitzgerald on a slant. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 11 yards for number 11. So another snag for Fitzgerald, who in 2015 became the youngest player at age 32 to hit 1,000 receptions. He's piling up some more.
Well, the way he's playing today, it's almost like he's trying to get a second 1,000 just in one contest. And when they're operating this well and clicking like that, well, that's a big reason why they're winning the game.
And if there was a lane there, it closed up quickly as he stopped for no gain. 2nd down. A good action to this point in the 3rd quarter. Just a 3-point game. 2nd and 10. Throwing is Manning. And he's going to go down. They get to him back at the 40. In for the sack, Myles Garrett.
This is a little hard for me to compute because I'm watching sack after sack happen, but somehow they're still behind in the game. I would expect all of this defensive pressure to translate to them taking a lead, and thus far, it hasn't happened. Time's winding down. They don't want to waste this type of performance from these ace pass rushers.
One quarter to play. It's football once again here in the East Bay. The fans love it. And we're back after this. This is a special presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. Back now here on EA Sports. The offense on 3rd down tonight, they're at 50%, 4 for 8. This is 3rd and 16. Throwing now is Manning. Got a man, it's Jerry Rice. And he's going to be taken down here, still a couple yards short of the 1st. It'll be a pickup of 14, but they're still a little bit short as it brings up 4th. They'll try and run through it with Alston. And he gets the 1st down here as he's taken down at the 24. They only got a couple, but a couple's all that they needed as they convert on 4th. So this drive going to continue following the conversion on 4th. Here's 1st and 10. Tomlinson up the middle. And he'll just plow right into a host of tacklers. Nothing there at all, and it'll be 2nd and 10. No luck whatsoever there on the draw.
Yeah, they're supposed to use their aggressiveness against them. That was the hope. But maybe they had too big of a meal last night. A half step slow, and he ends up running right into the meat of the defense.
2nd down and back to Tomlinson. And he's brought down, but he has it down to the 12 on a pickup of 12. 1st and 10. How about this offensive line? They're really starting to establish themselves, take over this game.
And before the series began, I know exactly what was said in the defensive huddle. Guys, we got to get no less than a 3 and out. Let's get off the field. Instead, they can't find any traction towards doing that. Right now, they're just getting muscled all over the field and getting pushed down.
He finds some way to turn this into positive yardage as he struggles forward for a pickup of about 2. The recipe's pretty simple, I think, right? Just give your superstar the ball, continue to feed him.
Yeah, don't overthink this one, right? Make sure he's touching the football, but you're also counting on his intelligence in playing the game as well. If it's not there, don't force the run. Just make sure you hang on to the football and keep the clock ticking.
Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Fitzgerald. So the completion good for 7 there. And that will bring up 3rd and 1. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to him? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
And Manning keeps it himself. And he's going to run into a brick wall right in the middle of the field, and I don't think he got there. So call that no gain on the sneak, and now they're still a yard short here on 4th.
No gain? Quarterback sneak? No gain? Aren't you supposed to get something out of that?
Yeah, needed a full yard there. So the snap will come from the 3, but remember, they don't need the touchdown. They can get the first down if they get a yard, and the ball gets to the 2. Tomlinson. He didn't get the touchdown, but he did get the first down as he's tackled at the 1. Didn't quite get the touchdown, but now they're really knocking on the door.
And if you're the play caller, now you're thinking to yourself, what is your sequence? Because you're not just thinking one play here just in case. You're looking ahead as well. I wonder if he's just thinking 3 power plays at max to get the ball in the end zone.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
And as this drive began, the offense had to be thinking touchdown, knowing the situation. Even after that loss, touchdown still on their minds. This is a one-possession game. A field goal doesn't do them a whole lot of good.
To throw, it's Manning. Now he's going to... And he is in. Touchdown, Legends. Peyton Manning taking it in from 2 yards out. And his guys find a way to stretch that lead. Well, that's certainly going to bump up the old win probability index because now it's a 2-score game here in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, you're taking me into that deep water now. Win probability index. This game's definitely not over. We're not looking at a 0.5% or something. It's just 2 scores. But the way that this team has played, to me, what I've seen, they absolutely deserve to win this game. They've been the better team by far throughout.
Point after, right down the middle. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. And what a drive that was. 16 plays all told. And it's culminated by a 2-yard touchdown run. After the touchdown, here's Summerall to send this one away. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. Well, that last touchdown we just saw, what an important one. Now it's back to a 2-score deficit for this crew as they take the field here, and they are in desperate need of finding the end zone. Looking to put a drive together. Now Allen connects with Kittle underneath. And he'll work free from one tackle, but that's about all as he's taken down.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game.
Yes.
Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown. This 2nd and 4. Throwing now is Allen. Complete. Jefferson the target. His 5th catch tonight, and it's good for a first down.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
Here's Allen to throw it. And the Legend's going to get there. He is taken down. Aaron Donald with a sack.
Well, many times when you talk about mobile quarterbacks, you get the sense that they feel like they can get out of any bad situation. They keep moving around and trying to emulate guys like the Scrambler or the Dodger. Instead, they keep losing yardage and digging themselves a hole that they can't get out of.
Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. Allen. Now a quick throw there, but it's going to be incomplete.
Well, partner, guaranteed they approach this play with the idea of making up ground to make third down manageable. Unfortunately, with that incompletion, right back where they started on the last snap. Now they need a big third down play in order to pick up the yardage needed.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Oh, he had a man open. He overshot him. It's incomplete.
There are not many times where you might say it's a detriment to have a quarterback with a cannon for an arm, but this might be one of those few times. He just laid that one out there a bit too far, and his receiver couldn't run under it.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on fourth down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. That's down the field for Jefferson. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the ball will go over on downs on the short side of the field. So they really needed points here in a two-score game. Could not come away with anything there on fourth.
And while we know they're a little bit discouraged here, they can't check out of this game. You and I have called a good number of games over the course of our career where we've seen these types of situations. Teams get the ball back, and that miracle does occur. So they can't let that dream go just yet. They have to get stout on defense here.
Yeah, right now really hoping for a turnover. Now Tomlinson on 1st and 10. And they've got it in the red zone now, down at about the 19. 101 yards on the ground for him now as he has gotten better, really, as the night's gone on.
Well, that last run makes this a 100-yard night. I've loved the way he's hit the holes. He's been quick, he's been decisive, and he's been a whole lot of fun to watch.
Second down and back to Tomlinson. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up third down.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
The offense on third down tonight, they're right at about the league average, 40%, 4 for 10. They're up against a 3rd-and-1 situation. Only a yard on the sneak, not enough, and he's a few inches short for 4th down.
They tried their best to pick up that 3rd-and-1, but their surge wasn't enough to counteract what came back at them from the defensive side, was it?
Offensive line, especially in the middle, looked like they were on skates a little bit when that one started.
So now we bring up 4th and inches. This will be a critical call.
And his kick is good. So the starting field position was terrific following the surprising turnover on downs, but the end result, only 3 points.
Simply stated, I think you have to look at that as a missed opportunity.
So after the made field goal, Pat Summerall back out to send it away. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. And now this offense comes back out onto the field. And last time, went for it on 4th, didn't get it. We'll see if they can pick themselves up off the mat and do better this go-around.
Sometimes I have this vision of coaches writing notes to themselves before a game. And sometimes that note says, be aggressive, stay aggressive. Maybe that's what we saw in the last possession.
Yeah, they were very aggressive. This time, will it result in points? We'll find out. Middle of the field to Jefferson. Short completion, just 4 yards, and it's 2nd down. 4th quarter, every drive so critical, and you figure may only get one more shot after this, so a touchdown's imperative on this drive.
It is, but you also have to think to yourself in play calling, don't hold anything back. Don't save it for the 2nd touchdown. You got the 1st one for the 2nd one to even matter.
Allen now looks to throw. And this throw incomplete. And the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to 3rd down.
Going with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
So after the second down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Here's Allen. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up.
And I think we'll probably see them go for it here on 4th down. No reason not to. Down a couple of scores, they have to try and make something good happen.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. That is caught and brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on 4th down. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
Trying to get it to Chase, but it's intercepted. No stickum necessary. That's the former Raider legend, Lester Hayes. And a terrific return there. They're finally able to corral him down near the 11-yard line. So that changes things. You get the interception, and then to boot, a good return tacked on.
And really, it was down to him versus the quarterback on the return, and that's one you would think the defender would win. But a nice job there of seeing the play all the way to the end and making the tackle by the QB.
Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. They have to like the position that they are in. 4th quarter, 2-score lead, and now the ball back after the INT. Now a 1st and 10 at the 11. They'll go up the gut with Tomlinson. And a nice job to break free of one tackle, but it slowed his momentum somewhat, and he's taken down right after. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. Working from the gun, Manning. And he's got his man in stride, complete. Now here's a timeout coming on the defensive side of the ball. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. Here's 3rd and 6. Manning going to throw. Throw right side going to be complete to Moss. And before this play happens, we're going to get a timeout here. That's going to be their 2nd. They'll be left with 1 more plus the 2-minute warning, and we'll be back. Coach Madden calling on his longtime friend, Pat Summerall, for the field goal. From the right hash, and this one just a chippy. And his kick is good. And that will extend their lead even further. So all things considered, that's not the final nail, but it does make things exceedingly difficult now on the other side.
Yeah, because obviously now with a 16-point game, the other guys don't need just 2 touchdowns. They need a couple of 2-point conversions as well. Plus, they'll need either a turnover or an onside kick in there somewhere. So you're just adding to the list of things that need to happen in sequence. And it's going to be a pretty tall order this late in the game.
So after the made field goal, Pat Summerall back out to send it away. And all in all, a pretty solid return. Nearly got it to the 35. They'll mark him down officially at the 34. Josh Allen in the offense now. Down by 16. A little under 2.5 to go. They're down to 1 timeout plus the 2-minute warning, so speed will certainly be of the essence. Down 2 scores late. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Decent start there to the drive. Big hill to climb, needing 2 touchdowns, also 2 two-point conversion.
So, partner, how do you eat an elephant?
I don't eat an elephant. Who eats elephant?
But if you do it one bite at a time. That's the way they've got to play this, one play at a time. Yes, there's urgency, but they have to be careful as well.
Let's go with like a 50-ounce ribeye. Yeah. One bite at a time.
All right, I'm with you.
And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. 2 minutes to play here in Oakland. Make way for the post-game turducken. Time to set the table. We'll do it after this. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
Limited time left on the clock after that incompletion, so I think both sides are going to savor every second to prepare before the next snap. Because once the ball's in motion, it may be a non-stop push to finish this drive off. Everyone better be on the same page right now, because I think they're going to try and get several plays off in quick succession if they can.
And this throw a bit late as he couldn't reach back for it.
Back-to-back incompletions, but we know this is definitely 4-down territory. Time not on their side. I don't think they want to try and get the first down in 2 installments. I think they got to go and get it right here, right now.
And now a tough spot here. This is 3rd and 10. Now Allen. And this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to.
That means it's just one last chance left, and this has to be a first down or a touchdown, or this game's over.
Here we go. This is 4th down. Here's Allen. He's got his target. That's complete. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. They keep the game alive, at least for the moment, as it's a first down. Clock management definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
To throw is Allen. And connects quickly to Jamar Chase.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
Allen to the goal line, but it's incomplete.
And now defensively in the 2-minute drill, the big key to me, make sure you understand your assignments, and anytime you get a chance to tackle someone in bounds, get them on the ground.
Well, this crowd trying to force a false start here. 3rd and inches. Throwing, Allen. And he's going to be dropped. Back at the 15-yard line. Lawrence Taylor, his 2nd sack of the night.
Probably a little bit of a surprise call there on 3rd and inches that they decided to throw the football. And how difficult is that for an offensive line when they look up and see all those extra bodies coming at them?
Tons of bodies coming in. They get a huge sack there. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And this 10-play drive winds up yielding nothing. Well, they had to take one final shot at the end zone, but now things are looking really bleak.
And I agree with that totally. You had to take the shot if they did score. You know, whether you call it a miracle or not, you line up, onside kick, get the ball back, throw one more in the end zone, who knows? Had to take the chance. It just was unsuccessful.
The D can only stop it one more time as they take the knee.
Pick it up. You're embarrassing us.
So it's a win here in Oakland for the Legends. And after a great night of football, time for the best of traditions. Sure, it's great to lift the Lombardi Trophy, but a close second might be lifting that turducken and taking a big bite after a hard-fought victory. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. As expected, a win for the Legends as we say so long from Oakland.